Have you ever heard of the greenies? Well, in the nail world, you don't want it. Nobody wants it. Let me show you how to prevent it. If greenies are going to happen, it's most likely going to be around the time where you're doing the nail fill. You're going to push back the cuticle. I've got a nail here that's not really grown out a ton. It's just a little bit. So comes into the should be infill or rebalance kind of thing. So I'm just going to push this cuticle back. Just going to see how much nail estate I'm actually working with here. As you can see, it's not grown out too far, but we've got a little lifted spot here. It's just a little bit too thick right here. And a little lifting starting here. So let's say we're getting all the gel polish off. We do this. I'm just going to pull the color off because I want to see what's going on underneath. And if you're interested in this e-file and this adorable little charging stand, everything in this video and all the products are available at nailcareer.com. Okay. So I pulled all the color off so I can see everything that's going on. So let's say I'm going to prepare this as I'm going to fill it. So now I'm going to prepare this like with no sense of how much I really need to get off. Like I really don't know. This is how we get the greenies because we just don't know. So I'm preparing the whole nail and I'm going to slow my e-file right down to 2 or 3 and I'm going to go around the cuticle and I'm going to buff up that natural nail, pushing back the cuticle with my bit. It's an arbor band. And I'm going to just gently push it back. I'm going to prepare all that. And I'm almost ready to fill it. Get it all buffed up so the product sticks to the fake nail and sticks to the natural nail. Okay. Okay, so let's say I put my dehydrator and my primer on now and I put all my product on. It looks pretty innocent, but there is a little spot that we need to worry about. Now, it's easier if you have a bigger lift. There's just a little tiny lift, but this is how it does start. You don't really even notice it, right? So if we look at this, there's a tiny bit of lift right here. That's not a ton, it's just a tiny. But over here, we could say, well, it's lifted quite a bit more. So if I missed that and I didn't see it and I put more product in it, if there's any bacteria that's caught in there, I'm now going to secure it with new product. Any moisture or bacteria that's underneath that nail can now fester into first starts with kind of a yellowy, tingy color, and then it goes to kind of a deeper brown color, and then it goes to like a bluey green color, then it goes to a really kind of black, green, deep color when it's really, really advanced. So it looks innocent enough that you have this little ledge right here. Now what that can do is when you put the new product on, if you don't seal it completely too, it can just sort of get a lift underneath it too. Even if it doesn't have any bacteria, what's not sticking, the new product is going to have trouble sticking and you're just leaving it open for bacteria to get. All it needs is a tiny, tiny little hole to get in under there and just settle under there with all that humidity and some bacteria, and then it starts to grow. So what we want to make sure we do with this is make sure those fine little details. That's why I always say that it's in the details. You want to get every little corner of lift so we don't have any issues of a greenie starting, and or it also just doesn't look very good. So from an aesthetic point of view, you also want to get every tiny little lift. So I'm going to go in with this little detailed bit. I'm just filing on the product. The pressure that I'm applying is a little bit stronger, so I don't really want to hit the natural nail with this. I just want to hit the product, and I want to make sure I get any little lifted spot off. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. Looks like I got all that. And I'm going to get really picky. I'm going to go into this side here too. Remember that little tiny lift? There we go. Okay, so the reason why that matters so much and it's so important, if we left it and then we put more product on, it's going to grow off, but we may not notice it. So if we had any type of color, let's say we put a colored acrylic or a colored gel on there, or easy gel, hybrid gel, that's my brand, Easy Gel, you're definitely going to cover that up. And then it's going to grow up here and it's going to grow up, but it's still going to continue to fester. And then it's going to grow up here, and then it's going to be in a wider spot, and then it's going to start to be really deep. So it's really important that every single fill, we take up any lifted area whatsoever to make sure that we don't have anything festering under there, and then we're surprised a couple fills down the road. So we just want to erase any of the possibilities or any greenies at all. There's other ways that you can get greenies, and you can find them on the natural nails, but this is one way in the fake nail world how we can get greenies on the nails we really, really want to avoid. So before you do that fill, before you put the product on top, you want to double check and make sure that you have gotten all the lifted area up. Sometimes it's hard to see because with all the dust, it can still look kind of white around there. And like, is that a lift? You're not really sure. So go ahead and take some dehydrator or alcohol or even acetone and get in there and soak that cuticle area and clean up all that dust to see if you've actually removed all the lifted areas. And in this case, we can see the acrylic, it was acrylic in this case, has blended to the natural nail seamlessly. So we know now with this nail, we have removed all of the lift and there is no opportunity for any type of lift to start, hence leading to a possible Pseudomonas. Okay, so watch for those little tiny lifts. Catch you guys in the next video.